Hey guys, Jengar here. Today we are flying out the P-38J-15 and we are doing this for a realistic review today. This plane is fantastic. I flew out the P-38E not too long ago to show some of the subscribers I had that were questioning the P-38 in a realistic battle, that the plane really functions very well. If you haven't seen the review on the E yet, make sure to check that out. And I wanted to continue that actually because I personally love the P-38. The Lightnings are fantastic. Pretty much all of them can do very well in realistic battle, and decided to take out the J-15 model today. This plane has excellent speed, good top speed in a dive, and excellent handling in a dive as well. It has decent initial acceleration and excellent long-term acceleration in a dive. It has a good climb rate. The plane has two powerful engines that can pull you up to altitude pretty well, and the performance on the higher altitude is good. It also has powerful armament centralized in the nose with one 20mm cannon and four 50 cal machine guns, which is quite nice, and the firepower that gives in the nose is very concentrated, and the plane does well in head-ons and those kind of things. It also has the added benefit of having the two engines in the front, which can catch a lot of bullets and often don't immediately die. There is big fuel tanks though in the wing. That's the downside of it, that if you take a little bit of fuel, then you can catch fire if you get hit in the wings. But for head-ons, the protection of the nose and the engines is pretty good, and you won't easily get killed in a head-on. At least that's what I've noticed. The plane has good roll rate, and the turn time is pretty decent actually when it's fast. When it's less fast, when it loses speed, then the turn time also becomes less good. And what is a surprise in this plane, and I discovered over the matches that I flew, is that it has a pretty low stall speed. So the plane, I think that's because of the powerful engines. They keep the plane going up and pull it through to a very low speed at which it becomes uncontrollable. But the control you have on the plane stays relatively high for pretty long. And the energy retention of the plane is also very acceptable. So all in all, it has a lot of good sides. Like I said, the big fuel tanks in the wings can be considered a downside, as you can catch fire here and there when you get hit in the wings. It is prone to those fires, and you gotta take that into account. Don't give planes your full profile. Try to position your plane such that they can hit only a small profile, and you can minimize the risk on those fire. Another downside to the plane might be the low cannon ammunition with 120 rounds. Or was it 150 rounds? I don't remember. Let me come back to you on that one in the conclusion. Forgot to check that. The average turn time and maneuverability when it gets slow is also a problem, because that actually means that you are best off to use this plane as a boom and zoomer, or otherwise as an energy fighter, and don't really turn with it. You can make a few turns with it like I do with this Yak 9T, but I do decide after a few turns to get out of the equation here, also because there was a second Yak incoming. And I didn't want to stretch my my fortunes there, so I got myself out, and I extended in the dive, which is easily done against the Yaks who are not too fast, and going to a head-on. We'll take the head-on here as well, and here you see an example of the finishing power of that 20mm combined with the 450 cal. So head-on capability is quite good. And we shoot that plane down for our first kill. But if you've noticed, we've been pushed back towards our airfield completely, and killing that plane actually made it from a 5-2 to a 4-2, and now it's a 3-2 because that guy in the Wyvern shot somebody down, but he gets killed as well by that Yak 9P. So now I am left by my lonesome against 3 guys. And it is actually 2 fighters and that year 2 that I was attacking in the beginning. And it's this I-185 and a Yak 9P that is somewhere. I don't know exactly where. So when we were at the airfield there, I followed this guy up to altitude. Then I saw that year 2 was attacking somebody there, and I noticed I couldn't catch up to the I-15. So I decided to dive for the air. I guessed he would be at the right side because there were only a few tanks left there. But I was wrong, he was on the other side. So I thought my original plan was to catch him, kill the air, and then continue on in the dive towards the airfield. But yeah, that thing didn't happen. We still have 8 minutes of fuel. We took 30 minutes, which is quite nice. Plenty. Now there you see the power of the absorbing engines and the nose cone in that head-on. He got a few hits on me, and I survived. I went back to the airfield and I reloaded, and there we have it. The ammo load on the cannon is indeed 150 rounds. Now that is not too much, but it is not disastrous either. 120 or 100 is much worse, or if you saw my Kika review with 50 rounds per gun. Now that is a completely different ball game. So the ammo is quite nice, and especially on the 50 cals you have quite the nice ammo load. Now here we have the Yak 9P, and we are actually in a dogfight with him, or you know, extended positioning fight. We are trying to extend a little bit here, and I'm still very close to my airfield. You know, he surprised me at my airfield. He has the energy advantage. And after that initial confrontation, I decided to use the airfield to gain a better position. Now this is what I would call smart running. So I separate a little bit, I use the airfield's guns to chase him away, and I immediately turn around in the vertical, give myself a different position on this Yak 9. He is extending away from me, he's on a low level, and then of course his I-185 buddy repaired on the airfield and came back. Now we gotta make a choice here. The Yak 3P is turning for me and the I-185 is coming down for me, so that was a difficult decision, but I decided to go for the plane with a superior position, the I-185, and I chased him away. He pulled the plane up, and I'm getting a shot here on the Yak 9P who was coming up for me and stalled himself out. Now here we get a good shot on him, which really showcases the destructive power of this thing when you get the guns on target. And we've got quite some speed from our dive, 600. We'll only lose it very slowly, but of course the I-185 is pretty good in a dive as well. Much better than a Yak. And in the long run, I won't outrun him. He will keep gaining on me. Unlike the Yaks who you will eventually outrun. So we let him overshoot. We get a shot here, but we missed the shot, unfortunately. So we go into the vertical, and here we're gonna come into contact with the low stall speed of the plane. I have to make my shots here to try to shoot that guy out of the sky. I don't give enough lead there. But here we only really stall out very close to 100 kilometers an hour. Which is actually fantastic for such a huge plane. Courtesy to those fantastic 2 engines that we have here. Now the I-185 is coming from his dive again. Accelerating, initial acceleration is quite a bit better than me. I incidentally let go of the C key there, and I lose my view on him and don't make my maneuver quite correctly. Fortunately for me though, he misses the shot, and I only get a glancing hit on my elevator there. I push my plane to the limit here. We are on critical speed with 128, but we can still wrestle a little bit with the plane and get it to do what I want, and it doesn't stall out, which is great. And I now have reversed the situation almost, and am at the 6 position of the enemy, which is fantastic, and we're getting more hits in. I'm running out of cannon rounds here though, and we're trying to catch up to him though. But the I-185 is also a very nice plane, pretty fast. He came from a higher altitude, so he has a slightly higher energy state than me, and I have to fire, which of course slows the plane down a little bit. And I'm getting a lot of hits, but here we get, well, the 50 cals at range. Let's say the effect of 50 cal on range is a little bit less than desirable, let's say that. You get a lot of hits that way, especially when you are beyond 500 meters, which we were. But I still wanted to take those spot shots, you never know. And I might have gotten a hit or something, or a fire. With one of those hits. I didn't though, went back to the airfield. The I-185 also went back to repair. And instead of climbing, he decided to go for the vehicles to finish the match off together with Year 2. And I tried to get there as soon as possible to make, but he does get that whole group. And to make sure he gets as little points as possible. But that probably gives an idea of the level of confidence he felt when he came back into the air. I would have climbed if I was him, but I think I made a good impression on him with the performance that I gave to him and his ally earlier in the P-38. So much so that he decided not to climb from his repair and go for ground targets. So that made me feel quite confident. And I later checked him, and this was a level 100 pilot as well. So at least somebody with quite a bit of experience. You know, level doesn't mean anything, but at least he knows what he was doing. I don't lead very well here, but I do catch the fire eventually. I could have gotten him, let's say, 200 meters earlier. But I was slightly too high with my aim. He was also like coming a little bit, he was turning a little bit to the right from his perspective. And I didn't calculate for that movement, so I missed the shot there. Initially. Now I saw the dot on the Year 2 from a long way away. Already at the second airfield. And I followed him back to base. He wanted to lure me over the airfield. He was flying 2 circles there. But eventually he decided to come out and fight. Year 2s, some of them have some nice backward guns. And he might be one of those, you know, you never know. It could be one of those 4.7 battle rating ones who have 20 millimeters. But I'm going in, you know, I want to finish this match. Look at our tickets. I mean, the ground forces, if they fight or shoot something, or a tank or something, then this match might be over in no time. And I don't want to lose this match after all that effort. This was a 45-minute match. Oh, super long. Come on, baby! Yeah, we got a fire and a crit. Let's go. Let's not get hit. Yes, and there he goes. For our 4th kill. And the match. We turned that around very, very nicely. 1st place in the team. Now let's see what we got for that performance. We do have premium again from our buying the Italian premiums, both of them. We have 123 Silver Lions and 5,500 research points. 4 kills, I'll see you in the conclusion. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Now that was very nice, another good match and a nice turnaround. I love these kind of matches, like I often say. It's what keeps me coming back, and it's what gives me my joy in this game. Very, very entertaining. Now the plane, like I said, is very nice. It's excellent speed in a dive. It's good acceleration, good climb rate. The armament in the nose is good. The roll rate is fine. The low stall speed is fantastic. And the maneuverability went fast. It's all quite nice. You can do a lot with this plane. Energy fighter, boom and zoomer. You can't call this a turn fighter, and it isn't. You shouldn't use it as such. But this plane is very fun to fly, and it is competitive. I would hope that more people will want to fly the P-38s out again. You know, you don't see them very often. They are big targets when you get shot at, and when you have the fuel in the wings, you can get a fire here and there. But those are the downsides, and there's not too many downsides. Apart from that, the plane performs excellently on high altitude, and doesn't do too bad on the lower altitudes either. You just don't want to get slow. All in all, I like the plane a lot, and I hope you enjoyed this review. Guys, I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.